Hi fellas, Nice back here again, and in today's video we're going to be looking at Academy's F-4 Phantom. Okay, so this is the Vietnam War Phantom, and as you can see it's a rather striking photo, or should I say picture, with the tritone colour. Alright, and if we look round, we've got our paint index, okay, in all the different paints, which we'll have a look at when we come to have a look at the instructions. This one cost me £29 from Lincoln Model Show last October, I think it was, and it's a great kit. It really is. I've seen these built. I've attempted one myself, but it didn't turn out great, so that's just sat underneath my desk at the moment. But it's something I want to be tackling again this year. So this one will get built. So, without further ado, we'll switch over to the other camera and we'll have a look at it. We'll start off with the instructions. And again, you can see all the colour callouts: Humbrol, CIS Carrios, Life Colour, Testers, Revel and Vallejo, and all set out there. Alright. Then we open it up and it's a fold out type pamphlet, so we'll cover it bit by bit as we go. So as with most aircraft kits, you start off with your cockpit and your wheel well, okay, and there's a call out for all the different panels on the dashboard. Moving on to the wheels, which can be a little bit of a pain, because these wheels, as you can see, they have to slot in before you actually point the wings, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Now, when I built this last time, this is where I found it a little bit awkward, because I never build with the undercarriage legs down. I stick them on after, so we'll have to have a look at that when we come to build it. And as you can see, they go into the wing slots, into the undercarriage slots, and with the air brakes in as well. Then we put the wings together. We've also got two pilots, one with a full helmet with mask and one without, with his thumb up, which is quite cool. So one will be your pilot and your observer navigator. Then we've got, starting with the air intakes, okay, and the engine nozzles slotting onto the actual belly of the fuselage and the wings, and then onto the seats, okay, the bang seats. Next up, we have got putting the fuselage actually on to the aircraft, and then the seats going in, and then again we're moving on to the intakes. These intakes we need to be careful of because they are seamless, and we have to deal with that when we come to build it. And then we move on to putting the nose cone on, and just having a quick look, there's no actual weight in there for the nose. Make sure it's the tail sitter, so make sure you put plenty in there. Moving on to putting the cover for the dashboard or instrument panel, the tail, and then putting the control surfaces, the horizontal stabilizer, the vertical stabilizers, the winglets on the end, and even there, look, it's got the front view of the actual direction, but not the actual angle. We then move on to putting wheels on, the front nose wheel, and the wheels actually onto the main undercarriage. And then again, we move on to the air brakes, and then we move on to the actual armament. So we start off with the pylons all round, and then we move on to the actual sidewinder and bombs and fuel tanks, and another standing up pilot figure giving the salute and putting on the actual canopy. Then on the last page we have got our parts layout. So that's the main instructions. Next up we have got the actual weapons loadout. So we've got the two types of loadout, one with rockets and bombs, and again another slightly different loadout with rockets going all the way down and what have you, or pylon 2 without the main fuel tank in the middle. Okay, and then we've got this lovely big don't know if you'll see this colour call out. Okay, so it's just the one aircraft in this set. Okay, but as you can already see, it's got all the colour call outs. But if you see the little red numbers, okay, and the black numbers, that's all decal placement. And if we turn it over, we have got that lot. Okay, just look at all those little decals, which we'll come to in a minute. So yeah, lots of fun. Now, the one thing that with this kit that is very, very unusual is that we have black plastic, white plastic and grey plastic. Why, I don't know. So you'll have to bear with me because some might not quite show up as we go through this kit. So first up, we have got part of the tail section, and as you notice, it's in black. Okay, some lovely detail on here. Okay, rivets and what have you. But then if you go down to the tail, look at that, going all the way down. Okay, not a massive issue to get rid of, but it is a seam line that we'll have to deal with. Okay, so that's part of the tail. Next up, one of those grey parts, I believe these are the upper wings, and again, you can just see that detail. Okay, just popping out there on the wings. So that will take a wash. Lovely. Some really, really nice detail. Recessed panel lines, just about right for this aircraft. Okay. Then we move on to a part of the white ones. Okay, so there's 2 sprues of this, and this is all your a lot of your armament and some of your pilot bits and pieces. We've got a pilot down there, and you can actually see the different heads with a mask and without. And then we've got one of the big fuel tanks, some of the wheels. I don't know whether that's a nose wheel. It might be the nose wheel. I'm not 100% certain. And moving on to some of the bombs, and you can actually have a look at the pylon detail. I'm hoping that it picks it out. Okay, we can just see the pylon detail just there. So again, some lovely detail on this bit. Next up, we have got a black part with the main wheels. The injection seat, again, some lovely detail on these injection seats, some wires and what have you. Those 2 back of the injection seat and the seat cushions. Okay, all on there. And then the nose wheel, which you can see those we need dealing with, those injection pin marks. Okay, so yeah. Then we move on to another black bit. Okay, so we've got the one type of engine nozzle and the second type of engine nozzle, and then the actual engine exhaust tunnels, whatever you want to call it, with some compressor fans and the actual arrestor hook just there. Okay, some nice detail on the wheels, I believe they're wheel parts. Okay, just there. Next up, in this snazzy white plastic, we've got the belly. Now this might be quite hard to pick out, but I'm hoping you can see that. Okay, not ideal for filming, but again, it's got some lovely detail. Moving on to, again, parts of the undercarriage bay. All right, with some nice detail on there. Again, we've got to be careful. Look, can you just see them? Injection pin marks all the way around in some really, really awkward places. Okay, so some nice detail, but it's let down by those pesky injection pin marks. Okay, again, some nice rivet detail on there. Okay, nice raised detail. Next up, we've got some of the cockpit parts. So again, some lovely detail on these instrument panels. We'll be able to take it picked out quite easily. We've have a watercolor pencils or gel pens, whichever your preferred method, and the actual part for the cockpit, combing or whatever you want to call it. Okay, as you can see, I'm not that up to on jet aircraft. Next up, we have got the main tub and some of the intake parts. Again, as you can see, some lovely detail on there. Cockpit tub is fairly bare because everything gets slotted onto these parts. So this makes it easy. If that's grey and then panels are black, easy to paint off. We've got some of the, I am assuming those are those little winglets on the end of the wings that the Phantom's famous for, that angle up. And again, some lovely detail. Some lovely detail, just look at that. Okay, that is the rear part of the the cockpit, where the navigator, wherever he is, operator sits, and it is textured like that, which is some lovely detail on there. And then we've got the air intakes, nice detail again. Okay, yeah, so a nice little sprue. So next up is we've got some more parts of the belly and the front nose undercarriage part. Again, some nice detail on there. Some of the smaller parts, wheels and undercarriage parts and what have you, the main air intakes, some more of the ordnance, a little chap, look, with his sunglasses on. Okay, and the main big belly tank. Okay, we've got some nice panel lines and all that sort of stuff. So next up we have got another main pylon. Again, some lovely detail. All right, on both sides, rivets and panel lines and what have you. Next up is the control surfaces. So we've got two types of, or two stabilizers, and the main big tail fin on the back. Just there, again, some lovely rivet detail all over. Okay. And it begs a question, when you've got massive parts like this and there's no ejected pin marks, why they are all over everything else, but who am I to know? Okay, I only build the things. And then two more sprues of rockets. Okay, so again, I'm hoping this will pick up some lovely detail on the tails of these missiles. They're all slot together. Okay, so there's two of them, really nice. Moving on to the main fuselage, the spine and what have you, which I like the way it's just all one mold, so you're not going to get your ugly seam lines down it to lose some of this detail. Even though in some spaces, don't know if you can just see, there's just a mold line just there, which is a bit of a shame. A little bit of flash too. Okay, but again, some lovely surface detail all the way around. Okay, and then we've got the clear parts, and again, another seam line. These all need a polish out by the looks of it anyway. So you've got your main front canopy, but no seam line on there. And then we've got a mold line there, and there, and there. Look on that one as well. So that's going to need cleaning up before we even look at doing that. Okay, but again, I don't know if you're able to pick it up, but some lovely detail on there. Okay, so really nice. Put that over there, and then we move on to the decals. Now, these are not actually too bad. I have seen a lot worse. So there's the main decals. Okay, the US Air Force Vietnam War. Okay, painted by Cartograph, so they should behave really well. All right, well, as you can see, they're really quite nice. Okay, all right, not much carrier film, but where there is, it should bed down fairly easy. And then you've got all the little stencils. Just moving along, and the thing is, you can actually read the stencils. I'm hoping, can you take, there we are. So really well done, Cartograph. Okay, but there are tons of them. Okay, so that's a good good few, maybe a couple of days worth. But again, hardly any Kaya film, and they seem really nice. Okay. So fellas, that's the Academy F-4 Phantom, which is a really nice kit. There's some really nice detail on there. The main downside are some of those injection pin marks on the smaller parts, which, you know, it's going to be a bugbear to try and get rid of in some places. Perfect plastic putty might go in and what have you, but again, it's 29 quid. Well, I know that's second hand, but it's still a really nice kit, and it'll build up to it and to look like a really good Phantom. Now, if you can't get it in Academies, you can get it via Edward, maybe for their Bicentennial and their Rocking Rhino ones. I know they're quite expensive nowadays, but you'll get all the goodies with it. Now, with this kit, I got some goodies. I've got an Aries cockpit, some wheels, some seats, and all that good stuff. Now, I didn't go out and buy this. I got this with the kit. Okay, so I will be using at least some of these. I might not use them all. I might just use the seats and the wheels, but I'll have a look at that at a later date. And when I come to actually start building that, I will do a quick review of this lot as well. Okay, so that's Academy's F4C, the Vietnam War one. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.